Hi everyone, so I hope you're all well, and today's video is going to be all about sunscreens. And I feel like sunscreen is kind of the most neglected secret in the beauty industry because it's kind of been one of those things that everyone's aware of. It's kind of like the foundation of your skincare and the foundation when it comes to anti-aging, but it's something that a lot of people tend to overlook, and a lot of people know that they need to be using sunscreen but don't actively incorporate it into their routine. And the reasons for this are usually the texture of them are very oily, they break you out, they don't sit well under makeup, they leave a white cast, or you just haven't found one that you got on with yet. And I completely can relate to that because it is very difficult to find a sunscreen that is going to work for you. And how do you know if the sunscreen that's in your foundation is enough, if the SPF that your kind of day cream offers is enough? So you know how some day creams can have like an SPF 6, is that enough? Should I be using more of an SPF? It's very difficult, and there's a lot of information out there to have to kind of make your decision. But what I'm going to do is I am going to put the correct information about SPF and why you should be wearing it, what you need to look out for and that type of thing in the info bar. There's lots of different types of SPF, but my personal choice and my personal belief is I think you need to go for an SPF that has UVA and UVB protection. I won't kind of go into the whole what UVA causes and what UVB causes and that kind of thing. As I said, I will put all the information down below so you're getting it from a kind of reliable source. But certain rays cause burning, certain rays cause aging, and we all know that, you know, overexposure to the sun is the #1 reason for skin cancer and for premature aging, and nobody wants that. So I am really religious about applying sunscreen, and you know the kind of 90s Baz Luhrmann thing of trust me on the sunscreen. If you don't know what it is, I'll link it down below because it's a really great video. It's full of just general great life advice, but I think wearing sunscreen is general great life advice, and it kind of pains me when I talk to women and they don't use sunscreen and they'll say, oh yeah, I just use my moisturiser, just my day cream, because it isn't enough and you need to be protecting your skin. It's so important, and I'm so passionate about sunscreen because I really do think that it's the #1 thing that's going to age your skin, and it causes pigmentation, and there's just so much into it. I obviously wear sunscreen as well because I do suffer from pigmentation, my nose area and on my cheek, so I really want to keep that at bay, and using sunscreen helps me with that. But you should be using it regardless of whether you've got pigmentation anyway. And I've got a bunch of products here that are completely tried and tested, that I've used for years, that I absolutely love. So I'm going to kind of talk you through what I do in different times of year because I change my sunscreen around like this. And what step do you use sunscreen in? Personally, I'll kind of use my toner, my serum, my eye cream, and then a sunscreen during the day instead of a normal day cream. I've got very oily skin, so I can do that, and these are quite moisturising formulas. If you have got quite dry skin, then you can always use it on top of your moisturiser, but the SPF should be the last layer that you apply. Can you rely on the SPF from your foundation? The kind of thoughts on this are divided. Personally, I kind of think categorically not. I know there are a lot of beauty blogs and a lot of kind of beauty insiders that will disagree with me and say that you can. I think that kind of better to be safe than sorry, and that it is very important. And there's a lot of people that say, you know, if you layer 2 different types of SPF, it counteracts it and all that type of thing. I won't get into all of that, but I think that you should be using a quality SPF on your face daily, even in the winter. So I'm going to start with my winter formulas. If you've got slightly drier skin in the winter or just normal skin, then I love the Emmy Skin Shield Daily Moisturiser. This has got an SPF of 15, which is fine in the winter, especially if you live in a kind of gloomy, miserable country like the UK, because we don't get much sun in the winter anyway. This is really nice. It's a very light, fluidy texture. I'll show you right here on the back of my hand. It's a kind of nice fluid-like texture. It's very moisturising, and it just kind of sinks into your skin very easily, and it's got a slight shimmer to it, which is very pretty in the winter months if you are quite tired, or if you suffer from kind of dullness in your skin. It'll help perk your skin up. It smells beautiful as well, and again it offers UVA and UVB protection, as you can see right here. This is a key thing. Then if you've got very oily skin, one of the most fantastic formulas out there is the Murad Oil Control Mattifier SPF 15. I've used this for years, and this is an incredibly mattifying formula. It's so mattifying that it kind of has almost like a glue texture to it, because it's kind of almost a little bit drying, but it works great, and it's a great base for makeup if you have got very oily skin. And it just looks like this, and you'll see once I rub it in, it's not as easy to rub in. It's kind of got a little bit more of a whiteness, and it's got a little bit more resistance to it, but once you rub it in, it disappears completely, and you'll see within a couple of seconds it dries matte. So there's no sheen on my hand. My hands look exactly the same. It dries matte. You can touch your hand, put your makeup on straight away. Great base for makeup, as I said. Then in the springtime, I like to kind of go for a slightly higher SPF. So I'll start with something like this one by Clinique, which I've been using a lot recently. And this is the Even Better Skin Tone Correcting Lotion, SPF 20, UVA and UVB protection. This comes with a pump, nice light texture. It leaves your skin with quite a nice glow, and it really does help to provide you with the correct sunscreen. Then another great option is this one by ARC, and this is their anti-aging skin protector SPF 30, and this is basically like a hybrid product because it's part primer, part sunscreen, so it's really lovely. Again, it comes with a pump, you get a lot in there, and it kind of sits as a lovely base for makeup. So if you are someone that's worried about your makeup not sitting nicely on top of your sunscreen, this is great because it acts as a sort of primer. And then in the summer, my kind of go-to one used to be this one, and this is a brand that you can't get in the UK, unfortunately. I can never find it online. It's an Israeli dermatologist that I've always bought in duty free when I go over there, but I want to mention it because it is brilliant. And this is the Sun and Soft Protective Active Hydration SPF 30, and this is oil free. There are so many formulas out there today that are oil free, and that's great if you've got oily skin, so just look for that because there are really a lot of those types of formulas. And this is a new one. I haven't even opened this yet, but this is what it looks like, and it is just brilliant. So if you do ever go there, or if you ever see this anywhere, I will look online again, but I doubt I'll find it because I've looked before. Buy this because it is brilliant. It's really light, SPF 30, oil free, UVA and UVB, and it's a great source of protection, and it's just a lovely cream in general. And then last but not least, on a very hot summer's day, and if you're going on holiday and that kind of thing, obviously holiday sunscreens are a little bit different because you might want something that's water resistant and you need to keep applying it and all that kind of thing, but I'm talking sort of daily SPFs here. This is a relatively new release by Soap & Glory, and this is amazing. This is their Make Yourself Youthful Sun Shield Super Fluid, and this has an SPF of 50 in it, so it's really high, which is great. And you can hear it's a very light texture. It comes with kind of like a little nozzle, and once you apply it, you can see it's got a very light runny texture, and once I rub it in, it just kind of disappears into nothing. And it really will help to protect your skin. I wore this, we went to an F1 event type of thing a couple of weeks ago, and it wasn't that it was a really hot day, but it was really sunny and it was really windy, and I think sometimes with the wind you tend to get burnt a little bit easier. I knew I was going to be out all day, so I used this and it worked beautifully. But my boyfriend didn't use anything because men think they are immune to sunburn and sun damage, and he has got a really red face. His nose was actually blistering because it had burnt that badly, and his forehead was peeling. My face was perfectly fine because I had that on, so that's really proof if ever you needed any. But that is kind of my overview of the ones I like the most. I'd love to know the ones you like. Like I said, I will put all the information down below. If you've got any information that you'd like to share with us, then definitely do so. I'm by no means claiming that I'm an expert on it, and I understand that it is quite a controversial topic in some cases, but I do feel really strongly about wearing a good quality SPF. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want me to do this about other types of skincare, then let me know as well, and I will see you all in my next one.